Hello students, today we are going to do penalties and procedure under the Factories Act 1948. I am Ragini Dikshit, working as Assistant Professor in School of Management, BBD University. Now, content of this presentation are general penalty for offences done by occupier or manager. First, we will discuss the general penalties for offences which are done by occupier or manager of a factory, and these penalties and offences are described in section 92 to section 96 of this act. Then offences by workers, these are described in section 97. Then exemption of occupier or manager from liability in certain cases, these are described in section 101. Then power of court to make orders, then section 102 and 106, these are described in section 102 and 106A. Then what are the various rights and obligation of workers under the Factories Act? These are described in section 111, that is 111, and section 111A. Now coming to the various sections, these penalties and procedures are described in chapter 10, and these are from section 92, that is section 92 states general penalty for offences. Then section 93 tells us about the liabilities of owner of premises in certain circumstances. Then section 94 tells us about the enhanced penalty after previous conviction. Section 95 tells us about the penalty for obstructing inspector. Section 96 tells us about the penalty for wrongfully disclosing results of analysis. Under section 91, we will do all these sections in detail. Then section 96A tells us about the penalty for contravention of the provisions of section 41B, 41C and 41H. Section 97 tells us about the various offences by workers. Section 98 tells us about the penalty for using false certificate of fitness. Section 99 tells us about the penalty for permitting double employment of child. Section 100 is now revoked or repealed from this act. Then section 101 tells us about the exemption of occupier or manager from liability in certain cases. Section 2 tells us about the power of court to make orders. Then section 103 tells us about the presumption as to employment, and section 4 tells us about the onus as to age, who has to provide proof for the age, that is section 104. Now section 104A tells us about the onus of providing limits of what is practicable, etc., that is burden of proving limits of what is practicable, etc. Then whose responsibility it is, that is who is responsible for proving limits of what is practicable, etc., in this Factories Act. Now section 105 tells us about the cognizance or acknowledgement of offences. Then section 106 tells us about the limitations of prosecution. 106A tells us about the jurisdiction of a court for entertaining proceedings, etc., for offence. Now we will do these sections in detail one by one. Now coming to the penalties and procedure, the Factory Act 1948 was enacted for the betterment of condition for workmen in factories. Yet some employers have still not applied the prescribed guidelines. Hence, the Act prescribes fines and imprisonment if the employers fail to apply Factory Act in true spirit. Section 92 to 106 provide for penalties and procedure along with procedural matters. So these penalties and procedure are described in the section 92 to section 106 of, and in chapter 10 of this penalties of this Factories Act 1948. Now the recent amendments have also been done in this Factories Act, and they have substantially increased these penalties as well as their procedures. Now coming to our first section, that is section 92, general penalty for offences. Now, if anyone contravenes या contravention of this act, contravention means to do something that is forbidden by the law, that is disobeying the law. Now, he will get the penalty of imprisonment for 2 years or fine up to rupees 1 lakh or both. Now, second, on continuation of contravention, if he continues to disobey the law, he will get a fine of rupees 1000 per day. He will have to pay the fine of rupees 1000 per day till the contravention is continued. So if the contravention continues for 30 days, he has to pay a fine of rupees 30,000, that is rupees 1000 per day. Now, third point, contravention of chapter 4 pertaining to safety or dangerous operations. Chapter 4 describes various provisions regarding safety or dangerous operations, and if somebody contravenes or disobeys these provisions, he will have to pay a fine not less than rupees 25,000 in case of death and not less than rupees 5,000 in case of serious injury of any worker. Now, coming to section 93, liability of owner of premises in certain circumstances. Now, there are two conditions where in any premises separate buildings are leased to different occupiers for use as separate factories. The owner of the premises shall be responsible for the provision and maintenance of common facilities and services. So, if any owner has given his premises as a separate building or lease to different occupier for use as separate factory, the owner is responsible. The owner of the premises is responsible for maintenance of common facilities and services. In the second case also, owner is only responsible for maintaining of common facilities and services, that is wherein any premises, independent or self-contained, floors or flats are leased to different occupier for use as separate factories, the owner of the premises shall be liable as if he were the occupier or manager of a factory for any contravention of the provision of this act. Now, liability of owner of premises is there if he leases out the premises to be used as separate building, to be used as separate factory, and or where he leases out any premises for independent or self-contained floors or flats to be used as factory. The owner will be responsible for the maintenance of common facilities and services, as well as he is responsible if any contravention of the provision of this act has been done. So it becomes the liability of the owner of the premises in both the cases. Now, coming to section 94, enhanced penalty after previous conviction, that is subsequent contravention of some provisions under the section 92. The contravention prevails, then imprisonment up to 3 years or fine rupees 10,000 or 2 lakhs or both. Means imprisonment, he can get imprisonment of up to 3 years or a fine from rupees 10,000 which can extend to rupees 2 lakhs, or he have to pay both, that is he will get the imprisonment as well as he have to pay fine also. Now, coming to section 95, that describes the penalty for obstructing inspector. Whoever willfully obstructs an inspector in the exercise of any power conferred on him by or under this act, or fails to produce on demand by an inspector any registers or other documents in his custody kept in pursuance of this act or of any rules made thereunder, or conceals or prevents any worker in a factory from appearing before or being examined by an inspector, shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months and a fine which may extend to rupees 10,000 or both. So, if any occupier or if any manager of the factory fails to produce on demand by an inspector any register or any other document in his custody kept in pursuance of this act, or of any rules made thereunder, or conceals or prevents any worker in a factory from appearing before or being examined by inspector, shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months and a fine which may extend to rupees 10,000 or both. Now, section 96. Section 96 describes the penalty for wrongfully disclosing results of analysis under section 91. Section 91 describes the power of inspector to take samples, and if any occupier or manager prohibits or obstructs inspector from taking such samples, he will get imprisonment up to 6 months or a fine up to rupees 10,000 or both. Now, coming to section 96A, penalty for contravention of the provisions of sections. Now, what are these sections? That is section 41B, 41C and 41H. What are the penalties for the contravention of these provisions of these sections? Now, section 41B, compulsory disclosure of information by the occupier involving hazardous processes. There are certain disclosures which are to be made by the occupier if he is involving hazardous process which are hazardous to life of the workers. Then 41C tells us about the specific responsibility of the occupier in relation to hazardous processes. There are certain responsibilities of the occupier according to this act which he has to follow, and right of worker to warn about imminent danger. If there is something danger is something going to happen, then it is the right of worker to warn about this danger to the occupier or the manager. Now, if there is contravention of these sections, that is section 41B, section 41C and section 41H, then there is a penalty for imprisonment for 7 years with fine up to rupees 2 lakh. Then on continuation, rupees 5,000 till contravention continued, and imprisonment for 10 years if contravention continues for 1 year. So there will be imprisonment for 7 years with fine up to rupees 2 lakh, and on continuation of this, rupees 5,000 till contravention continued, and imprisonment for 10 years if contravention continues for 1 year. Now, section 97, offences by worker. If there is any offence which is done by worker, now which relates to contravention of this act or disobeying of this act, he will get a penalty of fine of rupees 500. Then section 98, penalty for using false certificate of fitness. If any worker grabs this certificate and on false term, then he will face the penalty of imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 months or a fine of rupees 1,000 or both. Now, section 99, penalty for permitting double employment of child. If any guardian or if any parent is allowing the double employment of child, means at the same time he is working in 2 factories simultaneously, then he will get a penalty of fine of rupees 1,000. Now, section 101, exemption of occupier or manager from liability in certain cases. In certain cases, occupier or manager can get free from their liabilities. What are these cases? Where the occupier or manager of a factory is charged with an offence punishable under this act, he shall be entitled upon complaint duly made by him, and on giving to the prosecutor not less than 3 clear days notice in writing of his intention so to do, to have any other person whom he charges as the actual offender brought before the court at the time appointed for hearing the charge, and if after the commission of the offense has been proved, the occupier or manager of the factory, as the case may be, proves to the satisfaction of the court that he has used due diligence, means determination and careful effort to enforce the execution of this act, and that the said other person committed the offence in question without his knowledge, consent, that other person shall be convicted of the offence and shall be liable to the like punishment as if he were the occupier or manager of the factory. Now, if manager or occupier of the factory brings any person in front of the prosecutor after giving him not less than 3 days clear notice and proves that he has taken due diligence and the person has committed crime without his knowledge, consent, then the other person whom the occupier or the manager has brought before the court, he has been proved guilty, then he will be charged as he will be charged for the punishment as he was the occupier or manager of the factory. Now, coming to section 102, power of court to make orders. Where the occupier or manager of factory is convicted of an offence punishable under this act, the court may, in addition to awarding any punishment, by order in writing, require him within a period specified in the order to take such measures as may be so specified for remedying the matters in respect of which the offence was committed. Means punishment plus measures specified in respect of which the offence was committed. Means he has to take punishment also, that occupier or manager has to take punishment also, as well as they have to take measures for remedying the matters as well. Now, where an order is made under subsection 1, the occupier or manager of the factory, as the case may be, shall not be liable under this act in respect of the continuation of the offence during the period or extended period, if any, allowed by the court. But if on the expiry of such period or extended period, as the case may be, the order or the court has not been fully complied with, the occupier or manager, as the case may be, shall be deemed to have committed a further offence and may be sentenced therefore by the court to undergo imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months, or to pay a fine which may extend to 100 rupees for every day after such expiry on which the order has not been complied with, or both to undergo such imprisonment and to pay such fine as aforesaid. Now, court has the power to guide occupier or manager to take the punishment as well as to take some remedial measures, as well as the court gives time for these remedial measures. Now, if this time expires and still the occupier and manager has not taken measures for offending those guilties, then they can be further punished by the court, and this punishment can be 6 months, can be imprisonment which may extend to 6 months, or to pay a fine which may extend to 100 rupees for every day after such expiry. So, what occupier or manager has to do? They have to take punishment as well as they have to do remedial measures in respect of which the offence was committed. Now, if they are not able to do remedial measures in respect of which the offence was committed, they can be further given punishment which involve imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months, or to pay a fine which may extend to 100 rupees for every day after such expiry. Now, presumption as to employment means when a person is said to be in employment, that is presumption as to employment. If a person is found in a factory at any time except during intervals for meals or rest, when work is going on or the machinery is in motion, he shall, until the contrary is proved, be deemed for the purposes of this act and the rules made thereunder to have been at that time employed in the factory. Means if a person is there except during intervals for meals or rest, and in machinery is in motion and the work is going on, maybe he is not working at that actual time, but he is presumed to be in employment. Now, onus as to age, that is responsibility of proving as to age. When any act or omission would, if a person were under a certain age, be an offence punishable under this act, and such person is, in the opinion of the court, prima facie under such age, the burden shall be on the accused to prove that such person is no under such age. A declaration in writing by a certifying surgeon relating to a worker that he has personally examined him and believes him to be under the age stated is such declaration for the purpose of this act, and the rules made thereunder be admissible as evidence of the age of that worker. So, if any worker want to prove his age, he has to give in writing declaration made by the certifying surgeon that he is actually of that age. It is on the worker, it is the responsibility of the worker to prove his age, and for proving he has to get a certificate or a declaration certificate from the certifying surgeon appointed under the Factories Act 1948. Now, coming to section 105, that is cognizance, that is acknowledgement of offences. No court shall take cognizance of any offence under this act except on complaint by or with the previous sanction in writing of an inspector. Means any worker who wants to complain, he has to get previous sanction in writing of an inspector. No court below that of a presidency magistrate or of a magistrate of the first class shall try any offence punishable under this act. Now, coming to section 106, limitation of prosecutions. No court shall take cognizance of any offence punishable under this act unless complaint thereof is made within 3 months of the date on which the alleged commission of the offence came to the knowledge of an inspector, provided that where the offence consists of disobeying a written order made by an inspector, complaint thereof may be made within 6 months of the date on which the offence is alleged to have been committed. So, no court shall acknowledge of any offence punishable under this act unless complaint thereof is made within 3 months of the date on which the alleged commission of the offence came to the knowledge of an inspector. So, inspector has to complain about the occupier or the manager within the 3 months, and if he has given any written order, then complaint thereof may be made within 6 months of the date on which the offence is alleged to have been committed. Now, appeals. The manager of a factory on whom an order in writing by an inspector has been served under the provisions of this act, or the occupier of the factory may, within 30 days of the service of the order, appeal against it to the prescribed authority, and such authority may, subject to rules made in this behalf by the state government, confirm, modify or reverse the order. So, the manager of a factory on whom an order in writing by an inspector has been served under the provision of this act, the occupier of the factory may within 30 days may appeal against this order to the prescribed authority, and that authority has the power to confirm, modify or reverse that order of the inspector. Now, Coming to section 108, display of notices, how notices have to be displayed in the factory premises. And in addition to the notices required to be displayed in any factory by or under this act, there shall be displayed in every factory a notice containing such abstracts of this act on the rules made thereunder as may be prescribed, and also the name and address of the inspector and the certifying surgeon. All notices required by or under this act to be displayed in a factory shall be in English and in a language understood by the majority of the workers, and shall be displayed at some conspicuous and convenient place at or near the main entrance to the factory, and should be maintained in a clean and legible condition. The chief inspector may, by order in writing served on the manager of any factory, require that there shall be displayed in the factory any other notice or poster relating to the health, safety or welfare of the workers in a factory. Now coming to section 109, services of notice. The state government may make rules prescribing the manner of the services of orders under this act on owners, occupier or managers of factories. 110 tells us about the returns. The state government may make rules requiring owner, occupier or managers of factories to submit such returns, occasional or periodical, as may in its opinion be required for the purpose of this act. Now section 111, that is obligations of workers. Now, workers shall not willfully interfere with or misuse any appliances, convenience or other thing being provided in a factory for the purposes of securing the health, safety or welfare of the worker. Then shall not willfully and without reasonable cause do anything likely to endanger himself or others. Then shall not willfully neglect to make use of any appliances or other things provided in the factory for the purpose of securing the health or safety of the workers. Now, in the case of contravention of these obligations, an imprisonment up to 3 months or a fine up to ₹100 or both can be imposed on workers. So he should not willfully interfere with or misuse any appliances, then shall not willfully and without reasonable cause do anything that is likely to cause danger to him, shall not willfully neglect to make use of any appliances or other thing provided in the factory for the purpose of securing the health or safety of the workers, and if in case he does so, he will be charged with a fine of up to ₹100 and an imprisonment which may extend to 3 months or both. Now, section 111A tells us about the right of workers. Now, every worker has right to obtain from the occupier information relating to workers' health and safety at work. Second, get trained within the factory wherever possible, or to get himself sponsored by the occupier for getting trained at a training center or institute duly approved by the chief inspector, where training is imparted for workers' health and safety at work. So he can get the information from the occupier. He can ask the occupier to get him trained and to sponsor that training. Third, to represent to the inspector directly or through his representative in the matter of inadequate provision for protection of his health or safety in the factory. Means he can represent to the inspector directly or through his representative in the matter of inadequate provisions for protection of his health or safety in the factory. Now, these are the certain rights of workers on which he can work. Now, this was all about your offences and penalties and procedures under the Factories Act, which are described in chapter 10 and from section 92 to section 106 of this act. Now, what are these? We have learned about the general penalties for offences, liability of owner of premises, what are their liabilities, then enhanced penalty after previous conviction, what are the penalties for obstructing inspectors, penalties for wrongfully disclosing results of analysis, then penalty for contravention of the provision of section 41B, 41C and 41H, then what are the various offences by workers, then what will the penalty for using false certificate of fitness, what will the penalty for permitting double employment of child. Now section 100 is being ended or revoked from this act. Then section 101 tells us about exemption of occupier or manager from liability in certain cases. Then power of court to make orders. Then presumption as to or assumptions which are made as to employment. Then responsibility of proving age. Then responsibility of proving limits of what is practicable, etc. Then acknowledgement of offences, limitation of prosecutions, jurisdiction of a court for entertaining proceeding, etc. for offences. And we have learned what are these general penalties for offences, that is imprisonment of 2 years, fine up to rupees 1 lakh or both, continuation rupees 1000 per day till the contravention is continued. The owner of the premises is liable if he has leased out his building to be used as factory. Then enhanced penalty after previous conviction may increase up to imprisonment up to 3 years or to fine up to rupees 10,000 or which may increase up to rupees 2 lakh or both. Then penalty for obstructing inspector. This punishment the worker or the occupier or the manager may be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months and a fine which may extend to rupees 10,000 or both. Then penalty for wrongfully disclosing results of analysis, that is power to make under section 91, that is power to make samples. Results of samples are disclosed wrongfully, then there shall be imprisonment up to 6 months or a fine up to rupees 10,000 or both. Then penalty for contravention of the provisions of section 41B, that is disclosure of information by the occupier involving his audit processes, responsibilities of occupiers, then right of workers to warn about something that is going to happen, that is danger. Imprisonment for 7 years with fine up to rupees 2 lakhs and continuation rupees 5,000 till contravention continued. Then offences by workers, if there is any offence conducted by the workers, then relating to contravention of this act, he will be imposed with a fine of rupees 500. Then section 98 tells us about the penalty for using false certificate of fitness, that is imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 months or a fine of rupees 1,000 or both. Then penalty for permitting double employment of child, allowing him to work in 2 factories simultaneously, that is fine of he will be imposed with a fine of rupees 1,000. Then exemption of occupier or manager from liability in certain cases where the occupier or manager of a factory is charged with an offence punishable under this act, proves that he has not caused such offence and some other person is responsible for such offence and he has used his due diligence and the other person has committed the offence in question without his knowledge, consent, then he shall be discharged from any liability under this act in respect of such offence. Then court has the power to make orders. He can give punishment, imprisonment, punishment plus other. He can give orders to factory manager or the occupier to take remedial measures relating to such offences. Then presumption as to employment, it is presumed that a person is employed in a factory except at the time of the intervals, whether when work is going on or the machinery is in motion. Then it is the responsibility of the person in question to prove his age, that is onus as to age, and for proving his age he has to get the declaration certificate from the certifying surgeon. Then acknowledgement of offences, no court shall take cognizance of acknowledgement of any offence under this act except on complaint by or with the previous section in writing of an inspector. Then limitation of prosecution. No court shall take cognizance of any offence punishable under this act unless complaint thereof is made within 3 months of the date on which the alleged commission of the offence came to the knowledge of an inspector, and there is a written order, then within the 6 month of the date on which the offence is alleged to have committed. Then appeals. The manager of factory on whom an order in writing by an inspector has been served, he can appeal against it to the prescribed authority, and such authority can confirm, modify or reverse the orders according to the state government rules. Now, display of notices. Every occupier or the manager is required to display notices in meaningful languages which can be understood by the workers and at appropriate places. Then services of notice. The state government may make rules prescribing the manner of the service of the orders under this act on owners, occupier or manager of factories. Then state government may make rules requiring owner, occupier or manager of factories to submit such return, occasional or periodical, as may in its opinion be required for the purposes of this act. Then obligation of workers are they do not have to interfere or misuse any appliances. Then shall not willfully and without reasonable cause do anything likely to endanger himself. They should not willfully neglect to make use of any appliances or other things provided in the factory for the purpose of securing the health and safety of the workers, and if they do so, they will be given imprisonment up to 3 months and a fine up to ₹100 or both. Then these are the certain rights of workers. He can get the information relating to health, safety and provisions from the occupier. He can get trained about the various health and safety provisions which are work which have to be done in the factory, and he can ask the occupier to get that training to be sponsored. Then represent to the inspector directly or through his representative in the matter of inadequate provisions for protection of his safety or health or safety in the factory. So these were various penalties and procedures under the Factories Act 1948. Thank you, students.